Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. Okay, this is a very quick demo on how to get the alcohol ink look at home without having to have alcohol ink or anything of that nature. I've got a lot of requests for this. I did a video a while back and I'm redoing it for everybody. Thank you for all your requests, and here we go. I'm going to use a dark, this is just a dark paint, and I'm only using it because it's easier for you guys to see on the paper. So I'm going to put a little bit of my, this is just black, a little bit of my paint. You can put it on your paper if you want, but as you see, as I'm going to do right now, you might not want to because it can make your paper a little bit too wet, because you're going to make it wet a little bit with what you're about to do. So I'm going to wet my brush. Now you can spray your paint here with a water bottle, whatever way you want to get it watered down, do so. Use your palette and put your water in there, but you want it pretty wet. All right, so you can see that's very thin. And I'm just going to squish it all around and not hit everything else I have here. All right, so now I have just a regular, I did not gesso this or anything like that. You can if you want to. I didn't think to do that beforehand, but let's just do this first. But if you gesso it, what it's going to do is put down a, you know what I'll do real quick? I'll put a little bit of this down so it can dry halfway. This is going to be my faux gesso, let's say. Let me find a paintbrush. This will be my faux gesso. Of course, you use regular gesso or Mod Podge or whatever to seal your page. I'm just using acrylic paint, which you can use as a gesso, you know, your base coat as well. So we'll just put this on here to let that dry while I do the other one. So this would take place of as if you were gessoing your paper. Do you have to? No. I mean, it depends on the look you're going for. So we're just going to do that. All right. So now I have, you can see how watery. So while that dries, I'm going to put my dark paint up here, and I want it really wet. As you can see, you want it sopping wet. Now, I use alcohol 91%. You can use 70% as well. It doesn't bother anything, doesn't hurt anything. It just happens to be what I have. I'm going to use a dropper first. And I'm just going to stick my dropper in and get some alcohol. I'm almost out of alcohol, so. And this is just your normal alcohol that you use, you know, you get from the drugstore. Walmart, you can get it for 79 cents. But can you see how that's doing that? And that's just on regular paper. Now you can use, I have a cotton ball here. I'm going to put some alcohol on it and close it because I don't have much left and I'll end up spilling it. And you can dab if you don't have a dropper. And if you don't have cotton ball, use paper towel, toilet paper, whatever you have. But you see how we're getting that little bit of effect? Now, can you use watercolor? Of course you can. But know that if you use watercolor, it's reactivated. So once this dries, I'll be able to put paint on top of it. If I use watercolor, let's see, let me use a little watercolor down on this bottom part of the acrylic. And I'm just going to use some red. I didn't rinse my brush very well, so it's going to be pink. No big deal. But see, I'm putting it on this part. And you can use tube watercolor pencils, whatever you have. You just want to make it wet. But I, of course, wiped mine with, I didn't rinse it out as well. But hey, such is life. And I'm going to do some drops of alcohol there. Get a little bit more. You can see it lifting already. And you can see I'm dripping it, fligging it, whatever you want to do. And that's watercolor. So you can do it with watercolor as well. But like I said, it'll be reactivated. Now let me put the acrylic paint. This is just normal acrylic paint watered down on the gessoed part or the acrylic paint part. Now, obviously, that's not as dry as I want it underneath, but that's okay. We don't have all day for videos, do we? And you can do this with any color underneath. Remember that. It doesn't have to be black. I'm just doing this for visual purposes. But watch. Drip, drip, drip. And look how great that looks. Now, very quickly, I'm going to grab another color. Let's see. We'll do light blue. And I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to rinse off my brush. Okay, dry it just a tad bit. I'm going to put a little bit of just a little bit of blue down there. Water it down. And when you go to put it over, you can see the alcohol underneath, as long as you don't continue going over it. But it's, see, that wasn't dry right there, so that's okay. But it separates it a little bit, which gives it a great look. And then I'm just going to add some more alcohol. And look how cool that looks. And that dries. Of course, you'll take a little bit better, longer time than I will, you know, because you'll let it dry and do its thing. And then, this down here was not dry, but you can see this wasn't dry. But this watercolor, it lifts up. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you could put a fixative over it. Some people use hairspray. You can, you know, use whatever you want. If you're which I like to do is I'll take like my white school glue or my Mod Podge, something to that effect, and I will let this dry, especially if it's watercolor, and then I'll just take a real quick Mod Podge swatch over it. Very quickly, dry brush, a little bit of Mod Podge to seal that, leave it dry, and then go on to your next layer, which is a lot of fun, and I love doing it. So for those who don't have alcohol ink, or who don't have the solution, the blending solution, or any of that kind of thing, but want that kind of look and want to play around, I mean, you can't get much easier or better than this. And most of us have that alcohol at home. It's just regular drugstore alcohol. And like I said, you can get it for 79 cents. But that's a great look. So if you guys try this, let me know. Give me a tag and let me know, an email, whatever. I love it. I love when you guys tag me and email me and Google me and all that kind of stuff with everything that you guys do and try. I love it. This is great to use in your mixed media. It's great to use on the back of a journal page. It's great to use on an ATC card. It is endless what you can do with this and the paints that you can use. If you only have watercolor paints, look how gorgeous that is. I mean, you know what I mean? So you're not really limited. As long as you have the alcohol and as long as you have some sort of paint, oil paint I wouldn't use. Oil paint I've never used before with this technique, nor would I probably use it. The two smells would be too strong for me. But look, this is acrylic paint. You can use watercolor paint, your alcohol, and you are good. And let me just tell you a little something. If you have vodka at home that you don't drink, you can use that as well. Just little drops. It works. It's alcohol. What do you want? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up because I'd love to do more of these at-home paint, you know, products that maybe you don't want to go out and buy or you don't have the money to buy or you want to try the technique before you buy it. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Share this video with people if you feel willing, if you're willing to. I would appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for being so loving and supportive. And as always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I love you all so very much, and I'm so blessed and thankful. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.